What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Noob. So, it is almost time for the winter season of 2020 of anime. In case you're not understanding that, basically, when it comes to the anime world, the winter season comes first, then spring, then summer, then fall, then repeat. So, 2020 is about to start, and their anime season for the winter starts about mid-December, and the list of animes have come out. Now, I decided to go to livechart.me, which is where I like to go to see what's coming up, and I decided on which ones I'm definitely going to see and which ones I'm contemplating seeing, and I'm going to share that list with you. Now, it looks like I have 8 that I'm definitely going to see and about a handful of maybes, so this might be a longer video, but, let's see what's in there. The first one on the list is, I'm not sure if it's a sequel or a spin-off, but it's definitely caught my eye. It is the Magia Records Mahou Shoujo Madoka. If you don't know of the Magical Madoka Magic Girls series, you need to go watch this series and their movies that came out. This was one of the first ones, one of the more popular ones that introduced people to the darker side of being a magical girl. See, in most shows, being a magical girl is bright, it's shiny, you fight monsters, and nothing can go wrong. In the Madoka series, I think in like episode 4 or something like that, one of your main magical girls gets her head bitten off and dies. That should tell you how dark that got, and it went dark in that. And then some of the movies even went further. The last movie, which was number 3, basically ended with one of the magical girls screwing everything up and possibly destroying the world. So I don't know if this is a continuation, if it's a side story or something, but I love the Madoka Magical Girl series, and so to see another one coming out, especially since I saw that little white motherfucker Kyubey on there, that alone is going to make me pay attention, because let's face it, nobody likes Kyubey because fuck that guy. The next one on my list is actually based off of a what do they call those? A visual novel game, and I know a lot of people like it. I know the channel Lost Paws, Noble, he plays this game a lot, so I know he's hyped up for this one. It is called Nappa Para. Basically, it's cat girls in a maid shop. Okay, that's all I needed. I have seen people playthroughs of this. I know the storyline could be a little etchy in the light novel, so I don't know how it's going to be, but it seems it's going to be the comedy romance stories of the Nappa Para games, and I really want to see it. I know there was an OVA that was done a while back. I never got to see it, but I'm actually going to go back and watch it before this starts. But let's face it, Neko girls in maids, and if anyone knows me, they know maid outfits are one of my top choices. The next one is something that kind of reminds me of Sword Art Online or Dot Hack, but without getting the trapped in a video game story. It is called Infinite Dendrogram. The story is your main character joins a VR MMO game, wanting to see what he could do with it. He's a college freshman, so he's not a high schooler, and he buys a copy of the game, and he wants to experience it with his older brother. I want to see where this game slash anime goes, because I like the whole MMO VR games, Sword Art Online. I really did like, not as much as some people do. But like back in the day, I was a big dot hacker. I played all the games. So knowing that you can create friendships and enjoy stories online games really inspired me. So when I read the description of this, it was very interesting. I want to give it a try. I figure by episode 3, if I'm not really drawn into it, I'll back out. But it's definitely one I definitely want to give a shot. The next one is the 3rd season of an anime that I've watched. It is called Tuaro Kakaku no Railgun, or A Certain Scientific Railgun. This is part of the index universe, I'm gonna call it. A certain magical index anime. This was a spin-off focusing mainly on the electric girl, the Railgun girl. They had another series with Accelerator that came out a season or two ago, which I loved. And I wanted to definitely watch this one because this is one of those universes I really enjoy. The first version, the certain magical, definitely had to do more with the magic and sorcery. The Railgun one really has to do with the science side. And the reason why I like this story is because a lot of stories don't mix science and magic well enough, in my opinion, where this one really does. So now we're on a third season, and hopefully this will kind of show the progression to the third season of the certain magical series, because there was a bit of a time gap, and I'm kind of want them to fill in the time gap. I'm hoping this will do it. The next one I'm actually surprised is getting an anime adaptation. It's a manga that I've been reading for a while, and it's going to be quite interesting to watch. It is called Runway de Wareta. The whole story about this is you have two main characters. One is he's either high school or college boy who is aspiring to make dresses and stuff. He eventually wants to do stuff that gets shown on like runways. He wants to make the dresses. He wants to do that. He's aspiring. But he has the issue of social status. He's not well known. His family isn't rich. He's considered poor. People don't take him seriously. He's a boy, and boys are not supposed to sew, which I don't understand. The second character is a young lady who is aspiring to be a runway model. She has been doing it since she was a kid, and she is the daughter of someone who runs some of the runways. But she has one thing going against her: her height. See, in the runway world, you have to fit a certain image. You have to be a certain weight. You have to be a certain height. You have to be certain looks. Unfortunately, she's got everything but the height. But she is not giving up. The whole story is these two meet and form a friendship that begins to help each other. The boy designs a dress that actually works well for her, even for her short height, and she actually introduces him to people who will help teach him and get him into the world. There's not much of a romance, I would say, but there is a lot of drama and a lot of growth in this. I've enjoyed the manga so far, so I'm kind of interested to see how a anime adaptation of it would look, especially some of the runway clothes that are designed in this. I'm not a fashion person. My fashion is shirts and blue jeans or sweats. But some of these dresses that are designed in this are very interesting. Something you would only see maybe in a game or a movie or fantasy world. So I kind of want to see how this will work out. The next one caught my attention because it seemed like a very unique story that, I don't know, I might find interesting because I love spirits. I love knowing about them. I'm actually an empath and I can feel spirits when I go to certain locations. So certain stories do kind of attach to me. This one is called Kioku Cherie. The main premise of this story is your main character is a female who one day when she was younger got kidnapped by spirits. When she was eventually returned, she had lost a leg and an eye. Now, as she grew up, she could still talk to spirits and all that, and one day she realized that a boy that she was crushing on for the longest time apparently had an encounter with spirits himself, and his life is just as messed up as hers is. They decide to join forces and to solve mysteries of the spirits, and it looks to be kind of schoolish, so I'm not sure if it's going to be high school or college, but it could be quite fun to watch. You know, you got the spirits who could play tricks. Apparently, some spirits are dangerous because the girl lost an eye and a leg. And I would like to see where this goes because it does say comedy, but it also says supernatural and mystery, which means it could be a very good story. The next one is a sequel to something I did not think I was going to enjoy, but when I finally watched it, I laughed my ass off. It is Sakai Quartet. We are getting a second season. Basically, isekai characters got isekai'd again. In this, it's basically a funny, I think every episode was like 12 minutes or so, but you have characters who were isekai'd in their stories being re-isekai'd to a different world and having to go to school together. You've got characters like Tanya the Evil, you got our Bone Daddy from Overlord, you got Subaru from Real Life, you got our cast from Konosuba, and apparently the new crew that's going to be joining in is our boys and girls from Shield Hero. Oh my god, I can't wait to see these people come in. It is just a comedy thing. If you've liked isekais but wanted a little more comedy, this is just nothing more than comedy. And the best part is they're all cheapified. So it's adorable. Think like little Nendoroids. I know you've seen those. Basically, the Nendoroid design of all these characters are all in school together just having a fun time. It was something to definitely cleanse your palate, especially after you've watched so much serious anime, which I do a lot. Just to watch this and get a laugh, it was definitely enjoyable. Now, the last one on my to-watch list is... it's an ecchi one, but not a super ecchi one. It's more of a comedy one. It is called Issuesoku Reviewers. The whole premise of this manga and soon-to-be anime is you've got, I believe it's a trio of guys who basically go to whorehouses and rates them. And you might be wondering, why is that going to be funny? All the characters, the prostitutes, are demi-humans. Basically, you've got Medusa-style girls, you've got, angels, you've got elves, you've got fairies, you've got sea creatures. It is just... I've read a couple of these mangas. It is stupid, but it makes you laugh because these people will go in, go do their business, come out, and then literally write a review saying the elf girl was good, but blah, 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 blah. Silly things like that. And it's kind of interesting because it is a very ecchi manga, but not in the ecchi to where you see boobs all the time. I mean, you'll see a flash or something, but there's no sex scenes. There's no really, showy stuff. But it's just the whole nature of it is kind of hilarious. So when I saw this was going to become an anime, I knew I had to watch it. If I enjoy the anime enough, I think I'll actually go sit down and watch the actual manga. Read the actual manga, but I don't know. I'll give this a shot because I've heard good things about it. Now, that was my list of the ones I'm definitely going to be watching next season. Now, the next list is going to be what I am going to put on my list, but I'm going to definitely have a 3-episode limit to see if I want to continue, because either the synopsis is too low, or the premise is vague, or I'm not 100% sure. So let's take a look at that list. The first one is called Darwin's Game. The whole premise behind this is your main character gets invited to join an online app game, which turns out to be an actual live-action death game. Now, the synopsis both in this and in the manga are very, very vague. They don't tell what kind of death games they're playing or how people are dying. Is it supernatural? They don't really tell anything, so I'm not 100% sure what style of violence this is going to be. It's a unique premise, so I figure I will give it a shot. If I enjoy it, I will watch the whole season. If I really enjoy it, I will go read the manga, because I know it's still coming out as of today. Not today, but still coming out from what I know. The next one is called Kete Dragons. The whole story seems to be around these group of hunters who, I guess, specialize in hunting dragons, and they sell their scales, they eat their meat, and basically they go around hunting dragons and stuff. The concept of hunting dragons and following people is kind of unique. It's almost like watching those high-level guild members in stories that always go after like dragons or demon lords or something and just following them. I'm kind of interested in this, but once again, the synopsis that it gave was kind of vague. Yes, they told about the group, and they told that, if you succeed, you get meat, you get money, and blah, 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 but if you fail, you die. Yeah, that's any hunting thing, but I want to know why this group's going to be special, and is it just going to be like normal dragons, or like Western dragons, Eastern dragons, May dragons? Who knows? I'm going to kind of watch this one and see where it goes. Now, this next one seems to be a supernatural comedy series in high school, and it is basically based off of like the 7 mysteries of a school. Every school's got them, lights flickering in the one room at night, music can be heard down the halls, you go up a stairs, it's got 12 steps, you go down the stairs, 13 steps, stuff like that. It is called Jebuku Shojin Hanako-kun. The mystery that is going to be behind this is your main character is a girl who wants to solve the mystery behind the 3rd bathroom stall that is haunted. And well, she apparently goes in, she goes to investigate, and she finds out it is haunted, but not by a girl spirit, but by a boy spirit. And I guess they kind of become friends, and they try to solve other mysteries. It seems it's going to be a comedy. I want to know where this is going to go, because it'll either be kind of cute funny, or it'll be kind of annoying funny, and it's vague enough to where it made me interested, but not fully enough for me to actually decide if I want to watch it or not, so it's definitely going to be on my list. The next one is odd, and that's why I put it on my list. It is called Reikei go Keo ni Ochihato no di Shomashin Shita Mita. God dang it, that's a long-ass title. Basically, the whole story seems to be revolving around these 2 scientists who want to determine that love is real, and by solving it with scientific theories. Apparently, they both have feelings for each other, but they want to prove it through science. Now, it's going to be a comedy romance, which could be quite funny. I mean, I've watched a lot of romance animes while growing up, especially classic ones like Please Teacher is one that comes to my mind, where it could be goofy and silly and still be good. I'm kind of hoping this one would do it, because I haven't really watched a good rom-com in a while, and this could be something that I might enjoy. So it's on my list. We'll see if the science works out. The next one is a comedy, and if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of comedy this season, but it's alright. This one is called Boku no Tonari I Akaku Haku Shin ga Imisu. The whole story is your main character, when he goes to school, he's trying his best to stay away from strange people, because I guess he apparently always ends up being the straight man in the group of weirdos, and he's just trying to be normal. But apparently his luck sucks, because when he gets into class, he meets a guy who's definitely suffering from shinobiism, people dressing up like vampires, people with alter egos, and he's trying his best to stay away from them, but he gets dragged in, and he's going to be the straight man. I love comedies like this, because if your main character is that one guy who's just wants to be normal, and then you got everyone else around him being stupid, it tends to be funny, because his stressfulness of having to deal with these idiots makes it hilarious. So I'm definitely putting this on my to watch list. I want to see where it goes, because it kind of reminds me of the one anime, Chernobyl Love and Other Disorders, which I do love that anime series, but I want to make sure this isn't just a carbon cutoff. The next one is an action comedy fantasy heart. They got a lot of tags in this one. It is called Doror Hedoro. Basically, the story about this is in this one city known as the Hole, or whatever it is, a sorcerer is plucking people out of the street and using them as a guinea pig. And apparently this one character who's found with amnesia has a lizard-like head, and he wants to know what happened to him and how to get back to normal. And I guess his adventure is if he can kill sorcerers, especially the right sorcerer, he'll get back to normal. So the story is following him and I guess other people that join him trying to kill sorcerers to get back to normal. This has a very unique sounding story to where it can be very good. The only thing that concerns me is we have both the hashtag action and comedy sitting right next to each other. This could be a really good action-oriented revenge story, which would be great, but I fear that it might get overshadowed with stupid comedy, so that's why it's on my list of maybes. I want to see how it's going to go, because if we can get a really good action series, I will enjoy it. But if we get one that's mostly action and then screws up the pace by throwing comedy in there, I'm probably not going to enjoy it. Alrighty, the next one on my list has a very long title, and I apologize ahead of time. I'm going to screw it up, and that's okay. It is called Itaya no wa lia nano di bokorare ku ni hokore firi shitara to Amaterasu. Your main girl, who is the main character, gets invited into a game by one of her friends, but she has this very big fear of pain. So when she gets to her character creation page, she literally dumps all of her points into her vitality, basically making it to where almost no pain will hurt her. But the only problem is, it makes her have no magic, it makes her very slow, to the point where even a rabbit can get the best of her. But the thing that I like about it is, apparently because she put all her points into this, she's now like the strongest defender. She now has the skill of counterattack, she barely takes any pain. From the art cover, it looks like she's carrying a giant shield. So I kind of want to see where this goes, because tanks are not characters that are getting enough love, in my opinion. Thanks to anime such as The Shield Hero, the tanks, the shielders, and all that are starting to get a little more love. So I kind of want to see another one come in that will hopefully bring that up, because, hey, I like tanks. You know, come fight me. While everyone, as long as you keep me alive, I can block everything. So I kind of want to see where this goes. It does have the comedy tag, so it's definitely going to be one of those haha kind of comedies, but I want to see an adventure in this, which it might actually work out pretty well. Alrighty, the last one on my list. And this has actually been a good list this season, so I'm going to be busy. I know fall kept me busy, and I've been watching a lot of anime from that, but this one is going to keep me busy as well. The last one is called Somari to Mari no Kamashima. The synopsis of this story is: the world is ruled by spirits and monsters and goblins and whatnot, and humans have pretty much been driven to the brink of extinction. One day, a golem meets a lone human girl, and they basically team up. She is from a race of humans who should be extinct, and he's apparently a guardian of a forest or something, and the story is revolving around their interactions with each other, going on an adventure. This could be a very good slice of life adventure anime, and I'm kind of hoping. It's got just from the image alone, it's got the big burly golem kind of character, and then you get the little bitty kind of girl. So I've read mangas and stories that always have the little girls, the lollies on the big characters and all that, and they always make a great team, so I'm kind of interested. Plus, I don't know if that's a mask or if that's his face, but that whole look up of his kind of is cool looking. I want to see what that is, and I want to know if that'd be cool, because just looking by his body type, I could cosplay that if it's real good. Anyways, folks, I know this video was a bit longer, but this season of anime has actually got a lot that I want to look into, and I didn't even choose half of what was on the list. There was so many others. There was sequels, there was a lot of sports ones, but I'm not a sports anime kind of person, so unfortunately I didn't choose any of those. But this season had a lot, and with the winter being cold and all that, I know I'm going to be watching a lot of these under a blanket, snuggled up with a nice warm drink. What about you folks? Have you taken a list at what's coming up in the winter season of anime? Has any of these titles been on your list? Is there any on there that I skipped that you think I should take a look at? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways folks, I'm the Noob. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch y'all later. See ya!